G'day everyone, and welcome to this two-part series of the Vico High Country, where I head up into the Alpine National Park with my 6-year-old boy Ethan to explore some of the amazing landscape up here, from trout fishing on remote secluded rivers to climbing up into the mountains covered with grassy plains and snow gums. Join us as we show you some of this amazing country and what's on offer in just a small sampling of Victoria's largest national park. High country rivers are captivating pieces of the landscape. I could spend hours tracing their ebb and flow down the mountains and out to sea on a map, wondering what nook and crannies could be found around a river bend or in a gorge. And one of my favourite rivers is the Macalister. This is where I was going to take my boy for a river camp. But first, a dip in one of the smaller tributaries of the Macalister as we pulled up in the Arvo for a car camp the night before our big adventure. This is awesome. What a special place. G'day everyone and welcome to our little high country adventure. This is going to be a two-part series and we're on the Wellington River right now in the Alpine National Park, and I'm looking forward to the next 3 nights, 4 days. We're just going to explore. We're going to go camp out in the swag. I'm going to go trout fishing. Apparently the trout are on fire this season, so finally got some good weather. Alright, I'm on, what do we got? What do we got here? Beautiful, look at this. Alright, look at that. Beautiful. Ethan, have a look at this, mate. That is one nice trout, and you know what? I'm going to cook that up for dinner. You want to eat this for dinner? Look at that. Fantastic.
Ew, that's disgusting. Everybody, fishes.
You on gently yet? We're just going to eat straight from the frying pan. How's that? We pull up. We haven't even really started our adventure yet. This is just the first night. We came in late. Bang. Straight away. Nice trout. Nice brown trout. Good size as well. So they're clearly biting. I'm very hopeful for the rest of this trip, but nothing like trout straight from the river.
Oh yeah.
Let's give this a go, Ethan. Oh, it's just falling apart. Beautiful. Trout is good tasting fish. Ethan, what do you think?
Delicious. No. Dad, you're the best daddy.
Check it out. Just cast another one in just after dinner. Another brown. Man, it's trout city at the moment. It's just going off. But I'm going to get Ethan to release this one. Ethan, come stand here. Don't stand on the rod. Come in, put him gently in the water. And let him slowly swim off when he feels the water, okay? And there he goes, see? It was a rather exciting prospect for me as I prepared for this trip in the days beforehand, searching for somewhere on the map that you could only get to by foot, somewhere where the trout might be biting. This country is immersed in big rivers, streams and creeks, mountains, valleys and gorges. The Gunai-Kurnai people lived as the traditional owners in this landscape for many years, and settlers, squatters and bushies roamed the banks of these rivers in European Australia's early history, seeing the value of the place, I suppose. I thought I'd get inspiration for this trip from some of the old fellas and pack the swag and the billy for this camp. For 2 days and a night, I could almost transform back in time. and imagine a landscape that had not yet been forever changed by modern development and commercial enterprise. Beautiful, harsh, wild, captivating, awe-inspiring. Yeah, you could call this area God's country.
Watch that big blackberry there. Do you want a stick? How you doing, Ethan? A few blackberry scratches, a few thistle scratches. But look at where we are.
We are walking in the bush. We're on a bit of a goat trail. It's hard going, and we want to walk out to the Macalister River. We're just following this river down to it, where it joins the Macalister River, and we're going to just find a nice sandy kind of flat area to camp. I got the swag with me. It's a bit of weight. I'm walking through this dense scrub. It is a bit hard, but we're going to persevere. We're going to keep walking down here and see what we can find. So we're looking forward to it. Ethan, how you feeling? He's doing good. That's our path. Huh? It's basically no path. It's basically scrub bashing through a bunch of blackberries, and those orb spiders are everywhere. Oh, it's not a huge walk we're doing, but I'll tell you what, it's a bit of a test of endurance, but I'm determined. Ethan, we're gonna make it, and it's gonna be beautiful where we're gonna camp. That was an absolute slog. We've just pushed through so many blackberries and thistles and scrub, but we've made it to the grassy flat area where I wanted to camp tonight. The river's just over there. We're going to go find a nice place to camp, but unfortunately I tied my cooking pot onto my swag and it just ripped off, so I don't have a cooking pot. I'm gonna have to make do. I do have a frying pan. Maybe I can kind of boil water. I can boil water in a frying pan, but it's not ideal, but that's unfortunate. Beautiful grassy area. We're going to go find a nice place to camp, just to set up, relax, eat some lunch, and then it'll be trout fishing.
There's a butterfly behind you.
Look, on the bag. Ethan, tell me, what do you think of this? Was it worth walking all that way? Getting prickles, and look where we are. I feel like I could go for a swim. So I've got the swag set up for tonight. I also brought my Alton Goods tarp. I don't think I'll set the tarp up because I don't think it's going to rain, so honestly it's so beautiful. And what I did is I packed all our clothes and just laid them out, and then all the mats and sleeping bags and stuff are in here. I might kind of set it up so I've got like a brace of sticks which I can hang the head of the tarp, the swag onto. So without my pot to boil water, I was like, well, I'm running out of clean drinking water, and I mean, I think I could drink straight from here, but still you wouldn't really want to risk it. So what I do have as a backup is a life straw. I've used one of these in Africa before, and I've drinking out of a pretty festy looking water hole with one of these and didn't get sick. So these things are great. Emergency use. I want to get hydrated. Let me just fill that up. Takes a while to filter through, but there you have it. Perfectly safe drinking water through the life straw. Oh, that is spectacular. Good job.
Ethan's been practicing his cast, haven't you? Go on, mate, show us what you can do. Nice. I think I've just chucked something in. I think I've just got something. Let's have a look.
Have you got a fish? I've got a fish.
We've
got a fish. We've got a fish.
Oh, it's a reddy. Redfin. Redfin's good eating as well. We can cook him up. I mean, these are an introduced species anyway, and they don't like them here, so if you catch them you've got to dispose of them anyway. So I might just fry him up quickly and cook him for lunch. He looks like he'll be nice for lunch. I just did the silliest thing. The redfin was all sandy, so I just went to wash him in the water, and he's gone and he's just wiggled off and he's got out of my hand and he swam away. So redfin goes to live for another day, but let's see if I can catch another fish so we can eat. I'm going to give fishing a bit of a break for now. So I've been using a bunch of stuff. I've been using spinners, I've been using soft plastics, little minnows, grubs, Tassie devils, bunch of stuff, not catching anything. Did catch that one redfin, and then I was going to keep it so we could at least eat that for dinner, and silly me, I went to wash the sand off it, it got out of my hand and swam away. But I have no doubt that this fishing hole at around, you know, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock tonight is going to produce the goods. And I saw some big carp swimming at the surface there. Obviously don't want to catch them. Really would like some trout for dinner tonight. So Ethan's just chilling over there on the beach in the sand, and I'm just going to go for a little bit of a walk and maybe get some firewood and have a look at the scenery. But it's such a beautiful place here and so secluded, remote. Love it. Check out this carp. I don't know if you can see that. Holy moly, look at that. So we just went over there after a bit of a swim, and Ethan's just reeled this one in. What's he got there, mate? That's a trout. Brown trout, mate. You got to be happy with that. But I thought I'd just cast a line and then got Ethan to have a flick, just using a little minnow, and sure enough, bang! Nice brown trout there. So we'll eat him up. Actually, I caught another one straight after him, but he got off, so I really reckon we'll at least get to have a few fish tonight for dinner. I'm hoping for one more. That should be enough for me and Ethan together. Alright, let me give this little spot a crack. Running water. I know trout like a bit of running water, so and so guys, I'm catching for dinner. There we go. They're on the bite now. I reckon Ethan! There we go, that's... They're in the bag, that's a nice one. Oh, he got off. He got off. He got off. Alright. That's the spot right there. Nice. Oh, there we go, straight off the bat. Straight off the bat. That's all I needed to do. Yeah, just find the right spot. Yeah, I got a fish, mate. What do we got? Got another trout. Beautiful. No, he's alright. We can still cook him up. Alright, it's 6:30. We've got 2 fish. I still reckon I'm going to get more for dinner tonight, but I'm at least going to get the fire going now. We just go for the ferro rod tonight. So the plan for tonight's dinner is I'm going to fry up those fish, and then I'm also going to have them with some noodles and have it some lemon and some seasoning, and should be good. I have to boil the water in the frying pan because I lost my pot. It is what it is, but it's still going to be a nice dinner. Let me prepare those fish. Yeah. Well, that one didn't quite fit in my pan, the big one. Ethan's got his on his makeshift plate here on a nice rock. How you going, Ethan? Tops. Trout, and look at the view. Marvelous. I'm happy. And finish off with a bit of a brewski, but I was quite surprised how filling that trout can be. Those 2 trout was just enough for Ethan and I, and then we just shared some noodles together. And that's it. It's just now about relaxing, sitting around the fire, taking a couple of Nurofen for my back. But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying this so much. What's up, mate? Tablets. We're going to take our antibiotics. That was something funny, I'll tell you what happened. So on the way here, the last few nights before we came on this high country trip, I have a really sore, inside my nostril. It's kind of like an ingrown hair or pimple or something, and it was getting worse and worse. And Ethan's been complaining about earaches. So I was like, oh, if we both got an infection before we go away camping, that's going to be terrible if it gets worse and worse when we're out somewhere secluded. So we quickly went to the super clinic on the way to the high country here and checked in, and sure enough I had an infection up my nose, and Ethan's got an infection in his ear, and so we're on antibiotics. So Ethan is reminding me that it's time to take our antibiotics.
As the sun rose and we woke up to the sound of running water, cicadas and currawong birds, I was able to reflect on how good we had got it with this trip. Mornings are a great time to slow down and think about what you've just achieved. The calmness of the bush around us, with the accompanying rushing water that overwhelms everything, had us feeling pretty elated at everything we'd experienced on this trip. And with some breakfast in our bellies, it was time to move on to the next landscape. It all flows down to the ocean.
To cover it up so the water is good.
Rivers really are a tangible, powerful force. With their weapons of the slow passage of time and the energy of running water, they are able to cut through anything that stands in their way, dominating the landscape, but also bringing life to those who will meet her at her banks, both animal and human alike. And I suppose that is why we're drawn to rivers. It's that dual pairing of both something that can bring you life with its nourishment and bring you destruction with its power. That's pretty captivating in my opinion.